Good morning. Hello, hello. It is a Sunday here in Western Pennsylvania. We had a nice little storm last night in the middle of the night. It woke me up. I didn't hear thunder and lightning, just heavy, heavy rains. I've often said, and I know this is silly, but if they ever figure out how to control the weather, it would be awesome if they could just make it rain at night, right? The sound of rain at night helps soothe me, helps calm me. I love it. And then we could just have beautiful days and not have to worry about the weather messing up our plans. So welcome this morning. It is day 17. It's a hopefully going to be a nice part of the day today in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure. Let me know where you're coming from, where you live, maybe a state or area that you're from. And welcome this morning. Let me know who's here. So things have been going really well. I am so excited. We're getting more and more followers every single day, and more of you are sharing your different posts, and I love that. I love seeing the different journals that you're using. Some of you have been picking up the journals from the dollar store, which is absolutely fine. If that is what you want to use, that is totally fine. Ramona posted a picture of her journal, and beside it she has a picture of our prayer download that you can get. So I will put a post down below of it. It's a daily scripture journal template that you can use and put right in your journal. Hey Barbara, how are you? Sunny Florida. I'm jealous. Yeah, we were supposed to have sun this week, and it's looking like the forecast has changed and it's going to be rainy this week. But we need it. We need rain bad. So I am not going to complain at all. Okay, so let's see here. I want to make sure that I am live in the Facebook group, and we must be if Barbara's here. Yep, there we are. Okay, perfect. So let's see here. Today's scripture is Romans 8:28. Another one that is most likely very familiar to people if they've done any kind of Bible study at all. Romans 8:28 is what our scripture is going to be. Good morning, Katie. How are you? So I want to show you what I did yesterday. Yesterday's scripture, let me pull my journal up here. Yesterday's scripture was Psalm 23:4, and we talked about, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And I made this little rod and staff, and I made an extra little video yesterday to show you how easy it is to copy pictures that you find on the internet and put them in your journals. They're so easy to do. The best part is you do not have to be an artist whatsoever to be able to do these in your journal. That's what I do in almost every single page I do. I mean, the hearts I didn't, but the bird and things like that. That is exactly what I do. Is I just simply print a picture. I color on the back of it with pencil, then I turn it over, place it down on my page, and then I outline it with a real sharp pencil. I use a mechanical pencil, seems to work best for me, and it makes an outline appear on your page, and then you can color over it with your marker or with something else. So it's a super easy way to make your journal look dressed up. I also love putting borders on my journal if I don't do a picture, and you can just Google journal borders, and there are tons of pictures of what people use as designs. And I actually screenshot them on my phone, and then I just pull it up and look at it while I'm journaling so that I have an idea if I want to do a squiggly line or if I want to do some kind of dots or something like that. I know I did. Let me try moving this down just a little bit so you can see it a little bit closer. There you go. Like here, I just did little hearts on the page. I've done a few other things too in the past. Oh, these I use stencils. I have stencils available for purchase as well, and I just use stencils on these. I have all kinds of stencils. This I just kind of drew. This was just a picture of it was supposed to be a music staff with some music notes. Here's an idea with some apples because we were talking about apples. So that's different things that I have done. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We're going to move on to Romans 8:28. So Romans 8:28, and I'm going to read that, and then I'm just going to give you some of my thoughts about it today. Hold on one second here. I just want to make sure I don't think I had this set up. Hold on one second, please. There we go. Okay, so Romans 8:28 tells us, let's get back to the broadcast so I can see you guys. Okay, Romans 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Doesn't the scripture just give you a sense of comfort? I know it does for me, especially the first three words, and we know. This isn't just we think, this is and we know. We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. But the only problem is a lot of people quote that first part of the scripture, in all things God works for the good, but they forget to continue with the second part that says, of those who love him. But continue to act and do things. They're just not acting like a Christian. They're not acting like somebody who follows Jesus. So because this verse is for believers, real believers, God works for the good. And yet there's still so much bad in the world, isn't there? There's so much crime. There's so many shootings, sex trafficking, and even death. But until Jesus returns and he conquers Satan once and for all, sin will be in our world. It will continue to spread its poison wherever it can around the world, and it's going to be destroying as much as it can. But when we hear this verse, when we read this verse, it reminds us that although sin and Satan are really powerful, God is even more powerful, isn't he? He's able to redeem and restore anything for our good and for his glory for those that love him. What do you think of when you think of this verse? I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Let me see if there's any comments over here. What you're thinking about when you hear this. We shouldn't, as believers, the hope of believers shouldn't be that we escape all the bad things that happen in the world, but that God will make our hardships into something good. So this makes me think of Joseph when he said to his brothers who had sold him into slavery, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Joseph trusted God no matter whether his circumstances were good or bad, and boy did he get his share of the bad. But in the end, God brought wonderful things into conclusion, and God blessed his entire family throughout Joseph's life. I saw this quote, and it really hit me every time I hear it, and I'm going to be putting it in my journal because I just think it is so powerful. All things may not be good, but God can and will use all things for good. All things may not be good, but God can and will use all things for good. Don't you just love that? Katie says, I love this truth. God does bring food. Oh, I think it's supposed to be good while sin happens around us. So the last part of this verse talks about those who have been called according to his purpose. And I'm not talking about being called to be a pastor or being called into ministry. Paul teaches us that when the gospel's preached, God calls some people so powerfully, so strongly, that their hearts and their minds are changed about Jesus Christ, and they embrace him in faith and love, right? God's love is everlasting, and his wisdom is beyond anything we could ever understand. It doesn't matter who tries to stop him. No one and nothing can. And if we decide to align our will with God's will and always trust him, we are going to be rewarded. Absolutely going to be rewarded. So let me know what you think. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the scripture from today. Is it speaking something different to you? Is it the part about the and we know the most important part? Or is it more about the fact that this is for believers? Barbara says, Whoops, I brought it in and then I let it go. As a Christian, God never promised it would be easy, but he guided our path if we walk with him. Absolutely, Barbara, absolutely. So true. So I looked up, let me do my share screen here. I looked up Romans 8:28 to see what kind of things that I can use in my journal, because you know me, I like to have it to look little nice. So there's all kinds of things. Here's God is in control in big letters. Sometimes things just stick out at me, and I just really like them. Let me try making this a little bit bigger so you can see it. All things. Oh, this one's neat. I like this one. And we know that in all things, God works for those. I love the all things that are in cursive, and they're a little bit bigger. I like that. That might be something I do. All things good. Love God. Sometimes when things are falling apart, they may actually be falling into place. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's a good one. Alrighty, so there's a bunch of different ideas for what you can do on your journal. Let me know which thing stuck out to you. Is there one phrase or one saying that will stick out to you that you may put in your journal more than something else? I'd love to know what you plan to put in your journal. So today, let's see here. Where's my pen? So today is, yesterday I did a fancy heading. So today I think I'm just going to do a nice simple heading. So today is, and I don't even have to write today is. I think I just have to write what the day is. So this is Sunday. July 17th. All right, and Romans 8:28 is our scripture. I am super excited to see what you all come up with. Katie says, I love that, Barbara. I have several reminders around our home. My favorite is a photo of Christ, and the quote says, I never said it would be easy. I only said it would be worth it. I love that. I love that. It's so, so true. All right. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Tomorrow, day 18, and the scripture for tomorrow's prompt is Psalm 18:3. Psalm 18:3. So I'm excited to see you guys tomorrow, and let me know what you plan to work on today for your journal. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful day and have a very blessed day. Bye-bye.